It's the Almost Perfect Podcast.
Welcome to the Almost Perfect Podcast, a celebration of fuck-ups, failures, and falling flat on your face. This is a podcast that believes you can learn from experience, but that experience doesn't have to be your own. Hi, I'm Bob Perfect, and I'm a functional fuck-up. Let's learn from somebody else's mistakes. And today we're learning from Keenan Cerff. Now, Keenan is a stand-up comedian from Lavender Hill, but you've probably seen him on your TV screen on Showmax there as part of Trevor Noah's Nationwild. And he's been traveling nationwide as well. Yeah, he's been in Durban recently. That's why I chatted to him. But he's been doing Josie. He's done all the cities now. And over the last 5 years, he's done a pretty good job of building his career, which is why I'm going to be bringing up to the Heat City Comedy Festival, happening from the 30th of July to the 4th of August. Sorry to throw the promo in there, but I figure if you listening to this because you listen to this podcast, then maybe you'd want to know about that. And if you're listening to this because you know Keenan, well, then you definitely want to know that he's going to be performing in Durban from the 30th of July to the 4th of August. I'll let you know the exact dates at some time, but go check out the vibe on Facebook. But yeah, man, I feel like I ruined the little intro vibe there for Keenan though. Keenan is a really sensitive, just thoughtful comedian and dude in general. He's someone who I've only met a few times, but I've really appreciated just getting to hang out with him, man, and just getting to chat to him in general. I like his perspective and I like his hustle. I like how he's dedicated to his craft and he's very much driven to be a successful stand-up comedian. He wants to travel the world doing this thing, and he's incredibly inspired by other people in the industry. So we get into a whole host of topics, man. We obviously get into the Nationwild thing. We get into just how he got into comedy. We get into, it's basically the pursuit of happiness. That's why he's doing stand-up comedy. That's the whole thing. Both to create happiness for other people and also to, avoid that day job, man. That's fucking 9 to 5, that soul sucker. And I'm sorry if you're at one right now. Like, freelance life definitely has its issues, trust me. So, but if you're wanting to get out, if you've got like your dream, maybe this might be a little bit inspirational. Maybe this will, give you that push that you need. Or maybe it's just something cool to listen to whilst you're trying to get through your day at work. And I'm happy to provide either way. So you're going to get to know Keenan Cerff if you don't know him. And if you do, well, you're still going to get to know him even more, because I doubt you've had an hour-long conversation with him. And you won't really get to know people through their stand-up comedy. You'll think a stand-up comedian because of the jokes they tell. But we're presenting things in a light that we want to be presented in. So you're not going to really get to know us. You are going to get to know me as well through this podcast and just in general with these podcasts. It's not like, if you're listening to this for the first time, the format isn't very, I just ask questions off a page. It's back and forth. It's conversations. The whole thing with this podcast is conversations with creative South Africans. And it's me trying to, figure out what it takes to make it essentially in the industry, whichever industry it is that you're in. Because I think there's lessons you can learn from various different people in different industries, like I say in the beginning, the experience doesn't have to be your own. And I think with Keenan, there's actually a bit of experience here that definitely, it's not my own, but I've definitely learned from it. And I'm going to try and be, I just need to work harder. That's the thing. I definitely need to feel that desperation, man, because when it comes to stand-up comedy, I'm not as dedicated to the cause as quite a lot of other people, and I think that's probably apparent, and I think that's definitely why my comedy is not as good as other people's. So I need to work on that, but I've also got a lot of other things on my plate, which is why this is coming out a bit late. No, I'm not working on a rap album. I am working on a comedy festival though, like I said, the Heat City Comedy Festival, and I'm writing a few different things. I'm also going to be at the Red Bull Amapico coming up. I might be talking about podcasting there. I might be teaching people how to podcast there. I don't know. I actually need to follow up. with them. So I don't know why I'm telling you that. I should not do that, but I'm also not going to edit it out because this is like my 5th time doing this intro. It's a little bit too much honesty there. Anyway, if you like this podcast, you can like us on Facebook at The Almost Perfect Podcast. You can also follow us on Twitter at almost_podcast. And you can follow me on Instagram at almostperfectbob. If you really like the podcast, you can go to patreon.com/almostperfect and give me $1 or $5 or $10. That's all up to you. Totally up to you. You get different things because of it. Like there's competitions and you can ask questions sometimes, and like there's interaction sometimes. I think most of the people that are doing it at the moment don't give a fuck about the extra stuff. They're all just like, here's some money, we like the podcast, which is pretty cool. But there are extra things, and they do exist. So you can get them if you sign up to the Patreon at patreon.com/almostperfect. And yeah, that's it. That's the intro to this whole thing. I'm looking forward to you getting to know Keenan, and I'm looking forward to having Keenan at the Heat City Comedy Festival. You're going to probably hear that a lot over the next few months, until the 30th of July, and then probably also afterwards, because I'm going to be interviewing people at the festival. I'm really excited about it. I think I should be. I think I can talk to you about that. I don't know why I feel like I can't, but maybe I'll get over that the more I do this. Anyway, thanks so much for listening. Here comes the Almost Perfect Podcast with Keenan Cerff. So what brings you to Durban?
I did some shows this side. I did the gig at the Charlatan. What's it called? The Charlatan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it. Tammy and Friends.
Tammy and Friends.
Tammy, Tammy. I've been saying it wrong. It's my Cape Town accent. Tammy and Friends. So it's that gig that I did. I did the Happy Hippo. Anyone in Durban is listening to this, I must check out those gigs, man. And then there was another gig in Florida Road. Some club thingy, some VIP club thingy, where they trying to do comedy at. I don't know.
Oh wow, I didn't even know about that. Who was running that?
I am not. I think I'm not sure. I think Jim them. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was just the first time they did it to try it out. And then I just been like going to the beach and stuff, you know.
Yeah, as you do in Durban.
Meeting people. I watched the Champions League final. I went out to like restaurants and coffee shops and stuff. So it was all fine, man. Thank you.
Yeah, who were you supporting? Anyone in the Champions League final?
Was I supporting? I hoped. I'd always hoped that Liverpool won the league. I'm not a Liverpool supporter, by the way. I just hope that because of how they lost,
like like.
But those United fans,
those United fans we tolerate.
Yeah. No, I'd hope Liverpool, because Liverpool lost the final last year, and then they lost the league this year. Like the second highest amount of
points ever.
Yeah, for a team finishing second, like the most points for a team finishing second. And like in any other year, they had like 96 points. That would have been enough. But this year, they're finishing second to a team who has like 97, 98. And they put so much work in, considering they lost the Champions League final last year. And then they have another Champions League final. So they're so under pressure. But they won, so I was like,
but still, that's super impressive to just see like a team at the top of their game. Yeah. Like, do you see any like correlations with comedians at all? Like, is there anyone in South African comedy, like when you, like in the last year or two, you've just seen them be like dominating, but like haven't quite got it, and then all of a sudden just bam.
Yeah, look, like I watch so much comedy on the South African comedy scene. The comedy scene is so cool, man. Like, the way everyone is working. I love when I see people go all around South Africa, go all around Africa, and then go to Australia or go to the UK. For me, that's so cool, man. And I get excited, like, just to see, like, that's where this thing can take you, man. Being from South Africa doesn't mean that you have to stay here.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, the world is just open to you, and you can get, like, flown up, or comedy can pay you out so nice, and then you can end up going to some nice cities and places like that, man. So that's cool. There isn't anyone like specific. Like, everyone is working so hard, man. Everyone is doing their thing, they're in their own lane, and they doing their own hard work, man. So it's so cool to see, and it's inspiring that everyone else is just doing the thing. So I'm like, yeah, I also want to do the thing.
And yeah, because you've been traveling quite a bit over the last year.
Yeah, I have. Like Joburg, I've been to PE and obviously Durban.
Well, this is the third city I'm seeing you in like the last year. Like I've seen you in Cape Town, I've seen you in Joburg, and I've seen you in Durban. So like, yeah, man.
No, man, I have to work hard, but I can't. There's no time for, like, this is I do comedy full time. And
That's quite a big like deal, especially from Cape Town.
yeah, no, but
Because there aren't a lot of cats in Cape Town who...
yeah, a lot of and I'm going against the grain sort of, but like I want to do something I love. I want to be happy, man. And the thing is, I come from I used to work in like call center and stuff, different call centers, and every call center, you have people suffering, like people there because they don't want to be there, because like they get treated bad and customers are rude to them every day. Like you are mainly, because I was in customer service a lot, and the only time people phone is when they're mad.
Yeah.
And people handle anger in different ways. People will tell you, like they'll say you worthless, you stupid, you
Idiots, yeah, like just like you're useless. How can you not do this?
You don't know what people are going through by their houses, man. And it's a thing. It's the same thing. Like when people end up becoming hashtags, when they like, you black this, and then they want to say sorry afterwards. Like that was the customers that we dealt with. And at the back of my mind, I'd be like, yo, maybe this person is actually, one of those people that becomes hashtag, because like the way this man is shouting, you don't think.
No, especially since it says like this call is recorded for quality purposes.
Yeah,
you fucking
yeah, and they'll swear at you, but they'll say you fucking worthless, you stupid, and I'd just be like, damn, man, I have a tough life already, and now you still coming.
So like, yeah, I was gonna say, so I guess like fucking comedy audiences are nothing in comparison.
Yeah, like comedy audiences, like they come with a sense of like wokeness. And also, the comic can teach them something. Can teach them something that they never knew before. And so the people that leave there, they leave at least with their mind being opened a little bit.
Yeah. So, well, how crazy is that power dynamic shift for you? I mean, going from like a call center guy, getting shat on, getting sworn at, to now commanding attention from people. From like...
Yeah, I didn't actually think of it like that. Yeah, to being in a space where people come there, people show you appreciation.
Yeah.
That's like one of the things I do comedy. That's one of the things I love about comedy. It's the appreciation, man. You get people that will stand on their feet. They will like rock the front chair. they will, clap hands, whistle at you to make sure that you like, yo, like my bro, does he look at me enjoying you? Like to go from being shut on, like you said, to doing that is like, it's a really nice feeling, man. Why would you not want to be in comedy? And comedy is an art, man. It's like martial art. Like you can't read in a book what to do and then do it. Like comedy is a thing where like you just have to be like on it all the time. It's like gym.
Yeah, you have to practice.
If you're not gymming all the time and you want to be a weightlifter, then you're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah, there's no fit, like fighting fit. Like that's the same thing as like with comedy. Like,
yeah, you have to fight fit in comedy. You have to fight fit, but mentally sharp,
Yeah, exactly. Like you gotta, I don't know though, like what's weird for me is like the last month or so, because I haven't had underground comedy, like I've just been doing other gigs.
Yeah.
And I haven't been on as much, but I've been killing. And I think it's just because like, the pressure of like, not the pressure but the stress of running the Winston, because of just having to handle comedians and shit, would always like have me off my game. And now that I don't have that, because I was like thinking like, hey, if I'm performing every week, it's gonna make me better, but like because of the like external circumstances of it, it was actually weighing me down. And now I'm a lot more free, but I wish I could get more stage time, because that's the only problem in Durban. You did like the week run and that's it. Like you got like all the gigs in Durban in one weekend.
I was lucky enough to get some extra stuff, but some gigs were actually, bless you, yo, that's yo, whoo. The gigs, some actually got cancelled.
Oh
yeah, I was supposed to do more gigs, but then that got cancelled, and people normally come for those gigs, so I was like, no, I'll still come through. I'll still come and perform and like meet people and network and stuff. So I mean, I got some top guy's number. I got an Uber driver's number here. He says
Nice.
he's gonna take me to the airport. Yeah.
Nice. Is
For
he
cheaper,
gonna
right?
give you a discount rate?
Yeah, really top
Those
guys.
are those contacts you need, bro.
Yeah, I'm really meeting top guys. That's not everyone can do that.
No.
And then, but yeah, it's been a learning experience. Every city I go to, I learn something, man. It's all part of my comedy arsenal repertoire. Yay. I'm using the word repertoire.
Yeah, repertoire.
So it's like it's sharpening my mind and learning something new. I heard about Cater Manor.
Oh yeah, it's right here.
Yeah. In
over the
my
hill.
mind, I was like, oh, Cater Manor, it's gonna be like so nasty. I'm gonna tell my family where you came.
Oh wow.
Cater Manor.
Why? Because it says manor in it.
Yeah, like you would expect. You'd expect Cater Manor.
Okay,
And then
no,
I come to Cater Manor and I'm like, am I back in Lavender Hill? Like, like this is, woo, like they're robbing someone right now. Yeah, you're not doing it right. I'm like,
Yeah, dude.
I'm like, Cater Manor?
Yeah, dude. And if you drive past like Cater Manor at night, like between like the township there and between like Manor Gardens,
Yeah.
like
See, even there, Manor
Yeah.
Gardens.
yeah. See, no, Manor Gardens is nicer than Cater Manor.
Oh.
Like, because of history, because of racial segregation, because of
Yeah.
everything. But yeah, you'll see, like, if you drive, like, there, like, the other night, I was coming back from a gig on Thursday, and yeah, driving that road, and there's just cop cars lined, basically, at night with the lights on between Cater Manor and Manor Gardens. Like,
Yeah.
almost like private security.
Oh, it was that type. It was like a raid or something.
No, like, dude, they just chill there every night. So I was chatting to the Uber driver because you're saying, like, yeah, like, to prevent, like,
Oh, anything from popping off.
Yeah.
So that they can be right there.
yeah, it's crazy, man. Like,
Oh,
that's the kind of place Cater Manor,
see,
unfortunately,
Lavender
is.
Lavendale's not even like that. Lavendale, they don't have cops lining up there. No, they're gonna shoot. No, they're gonna shoot now. No, just wait. Yeah, you see, they're shooting now. We must go. Like, no. There's like
So you're from Lavender Hills?
Lavender Hill, yeah, no, but there's like the cops they take very long to come. They're like the opposite of those cops. they stay away from Lavender. They don't.
They wait for all the gunshots to finish. One,
Yeah,
two,
no, they wait
three.
for all of the
There we go,
gunshots.
done.
No, his ears are running out. Okay, his ears out now. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah,
Let's just clean up. No.
that's dark, but I know, like, you're not really joking there.
No, I'm not. But that's essentially what my comedy is like. I want my comedy to be like it's the ugly truth, man. That's what I want it to be, the ugly truth, and I want it to be like goofy. So I have an idea of a one-man show, and I've been asking online for like.
I saw that. I was even thinking, like, before we did this podcast, I was thinking the Surf's Up thing, like, just like.
Yeah, no, everybody's been saying like Surf's Up and whatever, but for me, that's what we just spoke about a couple of seconds ago. I have a story behind what I want to tell. I
Yeah.
have the truth about like the shooting and stuff, and then I want to hoppa, gag,
Yeah.
I want to educate to like open my world up to you. Essentially, that's what I want to do. I want to open my world up because no one has really been a speaker for the Cape Flats.
So yeah, you feel like there aren't a lot of people who are like voices for the Cape Flats. I mean,
Yeah. So like
probably not publicly, like essentially,
Yeah.
like on a big scale.
Yeah, because the idea that I have for the one-man show, I want to talk about, like I said, I want to talk about like my reality and stuff. So Surf's Up is cool, or you got
But that
Surf is
doesn't-
cool.
But that doesn't make sense for
Yeah,
what you're
because you
trying to
need
say.
something to catch the people, especially when you're doing your first show. So my thing that I have, the idea that I want is what did I say again? I joked my way out.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I joked my way out. So I'm not saying I joked my way out of situations. Like at comedy helped me get out of a lot of things. And my comedy stems from my childishness. And being childish is what saved me from when I was in high school and the kids were like, yeah, no, we're going to go and, and sniff this. We're going to go and smoke that now. And then I'd be like, nah, Ma's making curry and SpongeBob is on. I'm gonna go watch. I'm gonna go do that now. You safe, you enjoy the tuck. And then all of my friends just continued to fall. A lot of them fell into that traps, man. And then because I was childish, I just wanted to be home and lazy. And so then I obviously as I started going out more, instead of like going down the party vibes, I found stand-up comedy when I was like 20. So comedy was always at the back of my mind, and it just started to come more to the front of my mind. It just became more and more of a thing. I used to watch it all the time, stay home, watch it, and then I then started performing, and so I went to more gigs, and now comedy is like the thing I do.
That you do.
If
How
I meet
did
people for the first time, take them to a gig and whatever. And yeah, so
How did you get started in comedy? So you watched it growing up, and then
yeah, I used to watch things like Mr. Bean and all of that.
oh
stuff.
wow, okay.
Yeah, and I've always just had that random ability to just, in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna say this. It's so weird, I can't explain it. It's like in my mind, I remember what I thought at the time. In my mind, I was like, I'm gonna say this, and it's almost as if I knew they were gonna laugh, because I just say the most weirdest and random thing. Like I would think, what can I do that's gonna make them laugh? What can I do? Okay, this is gonna make them laugh. Then I come on at school or whatever, and I'm like, so my uncle stole our nail clipper. He does drugs. And then the class would laugh, and I'm like, so class, we're gonna talk about Othello today. And then I go on talking about Othello. Like, so I always had that ability, man. So I was in the call center working there, and then one of the comics that runs Premium, Ken, he worked there as well, and he sent out posters for the show. And then my friend was like, nah, you need to go do this, man. You need to go do this. And I was like, oh, I don't think so. And he was like, no, you need to go do this, man. And then eventually I went to the show, and I started, and I wasn't as good. And then,
Well, obviously.
yeah, like I started bad, actually. And then I did alright on the night. And then ever since then, I've just been going slowly but surely. I went to maybe 3-4 gigs a year to do.
Oh wow, that's really slow.
Yeah, like because I wasn't getting like booked as much, because I was
Well, when you
slow.
start, you don't get booked in general. You've got
Yeah.
to beg everyone for slots, and then
Unless you're like making waves, unless you just start off and you're like quick out the blocks.
yeah, but those people suffer hard. I find
Yeah.
like I don't like. I mean, a few people have really killed it straight out the gates and stuff, but most
Yeah.
people like they might do well for a little while. Like a lot of people will tell you, they killed it for like their first 5 to 10 shows, and then they started dying, and
Yeah.
then they were like, how do I deal with this?
Yeah.
Like, because you're not used to it yet. Whereas I think guys like you, like, might have it a little bit luckier in that, like, you don't have that unrealistic expectation because you came out and everyone loved your jokes.
Yeah.
And then now people don't. Like, you started out and people were like, who is this guy? And now, like, you, like, actually, through time and experience, like, gain that skill. So people trust you a lot more.
Yeah. So now obviously I'm going to different cities and performing and stuff, and it's really cool, man. Especially when I look back and I go, hey, damn, I'm getting somewhere. You know, like I didn't think I would ever get to where I am now, and not that I'm very far, but I didn't think I would get to this point, and now I'm here. So now I wanna tell how I joked my way out.
I get that, and I'm actually pretty keen to. I think that'll be a cool show, and I think that'll actually suit your story and you quite nicely.
Yeah, cause Surf's Up or You Got Surfed, like that's funny names,
But also, like, punny names
Yeah.
are pretty low level.
yeah. So now I wanna make sure that people, it makes sense to them in the crowd.
Yeah.
I want them to go, oh, I don't wanna. There's no way.
Cowbunga brew.
Yeah, there's no way of putting a story into You Got Surfed. It's just funny.
Well, I mean, there could be, like, you could do, like, a bunch of stories about where people got served, like, where you, like, outwitted them or something. But
Yeah, but there is something, but I know that it's
that's not your
direction.
that's not your first show. God damn. Wait, so how old are you now? Because you started.
Yeah, I started at like 19 or 20. Interesting fact, the first comedy I ever did was when I was in high school, and I hosted a couple of talent shows.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, then I would end up roasting people. I would end up
That's
roasting
just
people.
that's mean. So, like, if someone sucked, you would just be like,
No, not the act.
oh, people in the crowd.
I'd speak to people in the crowd, and I'd be like, hey, uncle, those grasshoppers are looking skew from here, bro. Like, I can only imagine how skew your grasshoppers are is when I get told there. Like, no, so you know what a grasshopper shoe is?
Yes, I know grasshoppers.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, as a color comedian from Cape Town, you've obviously got a lot of like things that, you know, in jokes essentially, like cultural in jokes, like
Yeah.
stuff like that. You know, like your grasshoppers are
Yeah.
skew.
Yeah.
Like, I think a non-colored person might not necessarily like even care like that they're
Yeah.
like about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what is it like, you know, doing that? Like where, you know, how do you play with that essentially, like with different like audiences, different crowds? Because do you change it up for different crowds? Do you have certain mannerisms and certain words you use, or do you, and then like, you know, like if you're with a Cape Town colored community, you can like lean into colloquialisms a lot more, or like do you use them in other situations to try and teach people them? Like what's the situation there culturally for you?
No, the thing, because I'm like a storyteller, essentially, my jokes, I'm the same person on every stage I'm at.
Cool.
But in some stages, like if I'm performing like in the wood, for example, I can speak maybe a bit more Afrikaans.
Yeah, okay.
I can say some of those words. Other than that, there isn't that much of a difference between the wood crowd and the other crowds. That's the only difference is I speak a bit more Afrikaans. But essentially I just be myself wherever I'm at, and that's been the thing that's been working for me. The additional thing I do is if I'm in your city, I'll do some research on your city and then do it on stage. So swapping out whatever general thing I have or whatever thing I written.
I mean, this is just classic like comedy, like touring comedy. You make sure like you have a joke that fits for like the city.
Yeah. So whatever word say, if I say gachi, for example.
Okay, now I
Which
get
is
you.
the guy in the taxi
Yeah,
in
it's
Cape Town that gets the change and
it's a
stuff.
condi. Yeah,
So what's it? What do you guys call it?
a condi, like the
Kondai,
conductor.
Kondais, yeah. So
Or Kondai, yeah.
or Contis, yeah. So when I come here, I then replace the word gachi with the word
Kondai.
Kondais to make it easier for you to understand. And if you see I did the research, then you appreciate me more. But in Cape Town, where there's foreign crowds often, I explain the word gachi again. So now I'm like, you see the guys that are in the minibus taxis, they're like, you going? That's a gachi. So they leave with something also. So just the whole, like I chop and change around, but I'm still the same person. It's just I'm doing something so that you can understand what I'm doing. If there's someone in the crowd that speaks French, and I'll comment ça va bien, très bien mon ami, and then I'll do that so that, you know, they can feel like, oh, he took some time to understand. Now we're gonna listen to him even more.
So is a big part of comedy for you, like because even we were chatting before this, you were talking about how you love seeing people in the crowd like give big reactions, and you watch like everyone in the crowd. Like you don't want to just see someone like gently clapping their hands. You want to see the big laughter.
Yeah.
So for you, like it feels like, you see, for me, comedy is definitely more of a me thing, like than like I interact with other people, obviously, but like when I'm on stage, like I'm interacting, like I'm not necessarily caring like about the reactions so much. I mean, obviously I want good reactions, but I'm not monitoring them the same way, like in terms of, you know, getting every single person, you know, to give me big reactions and stuff. So it's a big part of it for you, obviously, that connection with the crowd, with people.
Yeah. That's because I'm not the social media person. I find I don't connect well with people online because I don't know what you're thinking and I can't see what you're thinking about it, man. Right?
Okay. See, I like social media because I don't care what you're thinking.
Yeah, so I'm an overthinker. I'm like, I have funny stuff, things that I think are like super funny, or I want to comment about like some social issue or whatever, and then I'm busy typing it in, and then I see that, then I assess the situation, and I'm like, then I just start overthinking. Then I'll cut the word out, and then I'll just not post, and then I'll maybe see somewhere else down the line, I'll see someone say the thing that I wanted to say or similar thing, and get big laughs or positive reaction. Then I'm like, damn, man, you need to be more confident in what you want to say. And that's why before I do the one-man show, I want to feel ready in terms, I might be ready in like an hour, doing an hour, whatever. But I want to feel ready that I'm confident enough and I can back whatever I say. Because I'm going to speak about tough things, some tough things. So I would just want to be able to make sure that I have the confidence that I believe in what I'm saying. And I'm not just trying to be funny, but I'm also going, yo, this is me. Finally, I'm going, this is me. This is what I believe in. This is what's happening in my community, you know? And I think more can be done. So yeah, that's my thing.
And so do you have that confidence yet? Are you on your way there?
I'm on my way there. I've been doing more like posts and like I've been live on Instagram.
For this, yeah.
Yeah. So like this, because this is the thing. I'm like not afraid. I'm getting to that point where I'm more consistently not afraid to speak my thoughts and my views.
Would you say you're less afraid on stage than you are in front of camera?
Yeah. Because on stage, when I'm on stage, it comes with a certain confidence, man. The more people laugh, the more I grow into my confidence, the more I'm able to say what I want to say. But in front of camera, there's like, I don't know, it just seems like I have to worry more about the thing on camera and stuff. Because when we live and on stage, no one is really gonna, mess it up from there for me besides myself. But on camera, things can, I don't know, man.
People can dissect things as well.
Yeah, people can dissect things. People can, take it in the the wrong way, and then you don't have time to change it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I get you. Like, well, the thing is, when you're on stage, like, when you say the wrong thing, people, like, you just carry on talking, and you'll say something else, and people will forget about the wrong thing that you said. Whereas if you do that on screen, it's still there. Like, people might forget it, but the next time they watch it, or the next time they watch it, or the next time they watch it, they might see that.
Yeah. So that's why I worry, like, I overthink, man. So I'm also a heavy overthinker, and like sometimes I can be like, when I have little confidence and I keep my thoughts and opinions quiet. But as of late, I've been opening my mouth more, and I got like, just the other night, I got into like some heavy conversations about like abortion and stuff. And the one person was saying they for it, the other person was saying they're against it. I'm just like, guys, what I think, I'm not saying you right, I'm not saying you right. All I'm saying is, if you put yourself in a female's shoes, then, you can't blame a female, and you can't really force a female to do something with their body they don't want to do.
Hey, fucking man, dog. Like,
Yeah.
So it was two guys discussing this.
No, a guy and a girl and me.
Okay. So obviously the woman was against it. Like, sorry. Like, the woman was obviously pro-choice, and the guy was obviously...
She is for it.
Yeah.
He's against it, but what he was doing was he was saying, no, you are wrong. It must be no abortion. It must be no abortion.
Yeah, that's...
And I'm like, bro, you can't force your... What? You're not just saying your opinion. You're basically telling this girl, no, you're wrong for that. Listen to me. This is what you need to do.
Here's what you need to do with your body.
Yeah.
Like, here's how the rest of your life has to be determined.
Yeah.
Because...
Essentially, that's what he's saying to her. And now I'm like, but I just hear what you're saying. Open your ears and your eyes. This is your opinion, yes. But at the end of the day, think about this also. Think about, like, because females have it hard.
Yeah, women definitely have it fucking difficult in this world. Like, just walking down the streets.
Yeah, just walking around the street and all of these things. Like, I know, I kind of get how it feels. There's two situations where I understand females very much. Is like pains. For example, you've had that pain by your ass where you have a fart or you want to go take a shit, and then that pain comes there, and it's like, that's a horrible pain. Everybody's experienced it. That's a horrible pain, right? And then you can't handle it, and you're like, fuck. And then eventually when you get the shit, you feel nice. But now the female gets this pain every month, and then there's birth and shit. That's what they get, a pain times 20. Yeah,
women have to deal with pain on levels.
Yeah,
because they also have to deal with men.
Yeah, and then and then the other thing is, I went to a gay club, and in a gay club, and not just in the gay club, but like on social media as well, there's like gay dudes that hit on me like all the time. And They like people are relentless. Some guys will be out of block. It's weird, bro, but like some guys will be out of box. They'll be like, "Yo, are you homosexual? Let's hook up." And I'm
Oh,
like,
fuck! Going to a gay club can be a very interesting experience as
Yeah.
a straight man, but
no, because I went.
you're
I
in
went,
you're
I went
in
with
someone
my,
else's space, and like, yeah,
I went with my lady, man. So, and then I just experienced. Then I was like, "Yo, females probably have it so much worse."
yeah,
Yeah.
that's literally what it's like being a woman going out.
Because there you get like
Well, from what I understand.
super pearls as well that don't care if you have a wedding ring or whatever. And it's like so basically I'm like, yeah, that's where all of my thinking when we're talking about such things, that's where my thinking goes. I'm like, yo, you can't tell a female what to do in whatever. Females deserve to be equal. Females deserve all of these things, and now you wanna come and say, no, that they must keep the baby. Because that lady was like, yo, what about the rape case or whatever?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you must get the baby. I'm like, are you listening to what he's saying? You basically say, fuck what you're saying. Keep the baby. I'm not saying keep the baby.
Yeah, but people like that don't think really. They don't think about the consequences. They don't think about the reality of life.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like those kind of people probably, had two parents, lived, the middle class life, and, had a great experience, like a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Because if you've grown up like, in poorer communities, or you've grown up in places where you can see that, yeah, maybe if someone had access to that kind of thing, their life would be a lot better, because if they didn't, both them and the kid would have better lives. Well, the kid wouldn't have a life, but technically that might still be better than some people's actual lived experiences. Not to be, dismissive of people's lived experiences, but, some people do not, like, this is going to sound weird because it's going to sound like I'm saying, like, if your life sucks, you don't deserve to have it. But I'm just saying, like, there are obviously circumstances where, like, personally, I wouldn't feel too bad about it had my mom not had me, because I wouldn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So, and her life probably would have become a lot better. It would have probably had more opportunities, and she would have got to keep all that cash that she was making. Instead of working two jobs, like, to bring me up. So, for me, it's definitely a thing of give people the choice, and if it's not your choice, don't take it.
Yeah. So, how did we end up going there? Damn it, Keenan.
I don't know, but cool chat though. And I was gonna say, well, this is the cool thing about comedy though, because now you're like, this experience and some stuff is stuff that's going to be in your mind, and maybe one day you'll talk about it on stage. And maybe you'll be able to put it in a way now that guy would be able to understand it if you put it in a joke. But at the moment he's not getting it because his perspective is so shaped by like the way he sees the world, whereas it could just take a simple like trick of the words, and then all of a sudden, and also the thing of him trusting you on stage now, because for some reason, people give comedians a lot more like credit than they deserve, like for being smart and like for being, thought leaders and stuff.
Yeah.
But now, how do you feel about having that position as someone who can educate others? It's obviously, judging by this conversation, something that matters a lot to you.
Yeah. No, it's like when you're on stage, people are more prone like to listening to you. I often say a lot of the world's problems can be solved if people just listened and spoke. Like, they speak to each other, but like mainly listen. I feel like a lot of the issues can be solved. And that's why with comedians have so much power, because that's the one time, that's the one real time where people are sitting down. They're here to listen. Like, a seminar is one thing where people go to sleep. Like, but with comedy, you listen through for an hour, 40 minutes, you're listening. And to have the power where people are just listening 100% of the time it's a lot of responsibility that comedians have. So that's why I appreciate comics that can say things like that just blows your mind, like, makes you think like, why didn't I think of that, what Joey Rastin does, cognitive dissonance.
Cool. What does he do about it?
I don't know. I forgot what cognitive dissonance means. But
it's when your beliefs like don't necessarily match up, essentially.
Yeah. So the night I was sitting there, and as he was explaining to it, I need to watch the show again just to listen to that part. But at the time I was sitting there, I was like, damn, I never thought of this, So that's why comedy is so cool. And otherwise, if you don't really get what the person is saying or don't really understand, you have a good laugh. So essentially, it's just a perfect combination, you know, to educate and make people laugh.
Yeah, man, I'd say like a large portion of my education growing up was given to me by comedians, by like Chris Rock, by George Carlin,
Yeah,
by like
same here. Like, you know, my parents taught me manners, but like I feel like comedy
taught you the
me
world.
life and
Yeah.
business, and you know, because like the way it works in comedy, like with business and stuff, people will take more money from you. Like people will you can lose out on a lot. Comedy like toughens you up.
Yeah, definitely. It's ruthless.
Yeah, there can be a after they pay all this stuff, there can be a 50,000, 100,000 rand left to give out to the performers, and it can easily just work out where you get 1,000 rand and they take the rest. But if you had opened your mouth and if you were stern, you could have gotten a lot more out of the deal. So comedy is essentially like just school, but on another level.
It's a whole new, like, yeah, it's its own university almost.
It's its own university, yeah. So this is like where it toughens you up. The bullies are the ones that are robbing you, essentially.
Yeah, and I guess it's a weird thing because so we can talk about that. The payment thing, you know, it's such a weird thing in comedy because it is a matter of, you know, how much do you ask for? Like, so when you're starting out, you're like, oh, I don't want to ask for too much.
Yeah.
And then so like people just pay you $300 because they think you're a 300 rand comedian.
Yeah.
And then, you know, later down the road, you're like, maybe I should ask for more. But like, you're still like feeling like you don't know if you're there yet.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, like, yeah, you could be asking for 2K, 5K when other comedians on your level are doing that. And like people are getting more and more successful at comedy, making more and more money just because they have the confidence to ask people.
Yeah. But that's like comedians need to go into comedy. That's where a brand comes in. That's where a business comes in. Because at the beginning, you don't see the bigger picture. You don't see it for what it is. It's actually a business. You are a business, right? And I think comedy should be the same way as a plumber or a barber or something, right? Where people go into a plumber or people hire plumbers knowing they need to pay this, bruh. People go to a barber knowing they need to pay.
Yeah.
Why is it that when people want to hire a comic,
They don't want to pay?
they don't want to pay?
Because
Like,
it's exposure, bro.
yeah, no. Then people just go like, no, it's exposure, and people just go, no, you know, I'll give you 500, not thinking that this brand needs to eat with this money. This brand needs to travel with this money, whatever. But this brand needs to pay off an account with this money. You don't care about that. You don't see, like, a lot of people don't see comedy for what it is. Comedy is like a job. It's like a 9-5. Someone is their own business.
It's just the hours are slightly different.
Yeah, their operating hours are whenever they're live. Like that's comedy, right? And people don't see it like that. People just see like, oh, he's just telling jokes. And then that's why when I started having to sit down with with people discussing pay and all of this stuff, that's why I rather got someone to do that for me, because I'm too, like, people can play with my emotions easily. So they can just go, oh no, this is person with 1 foot. Oh, please.
Do you want to come to a charity gig?
Yeah, then I'm just like, oh man, okay. And then like, they pay so much.
I think every comedian in this country's probably done like 100 charity gigs each.
Yeah, man. And I don't, the thing is, I don't mind doing that, man.
No, but like, it's also like we get asked constantly.
Yeah.
And you know, like, it is your time, it is your money, like, it is, like, while it's awesome to get an opportunity to perform, and it's wonderful to get to help, you know, charities in need when you can, it's also costs you to do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what people don't understand. It's like, it's the time and effort, to write the jokes.
Yeah.
Then, now you got to take these jokes out, and you got to see if they fucking work. Okay, cool, they work. Now, let's get them better. Now, you've done all of this for like months to get like your set solid, and so you got a solid 15, and you've been literally working for months on this thing. It's gone up, it's gone down, and someone says, hey, can you come perform for free? It's a very big slap in the face. Like,
it's like, even, you know, if a family member hires a plumber,
you're not going to get a charity plumber.
Yeah, most people know. Most people would like.
You'll get a discount. You'll get a discount.
You'll give a discount, but essentially they know that whichever plumber they hire, whether it's family, whether it's whatever, they know like, yo, we need to give this man something.
Yeah.
Even if my uncle, who's like on drugs, even when he go to cut grass and stuff, people like, there's like a exchange of like a service for money.
Exactly.
Like even for people that come to your yards and do work, you give them money because there's that understanding. Like, I need to give this man something for what he did. Why isn't it the same with comedy?
Because people think they can do it themselves.
Yeah, like, because comedy, like, yeah, what people need to think.
But yeah, so how hard is it to actually like make a living off of comedy? Because I don't make my living off of comedy.
Yeah.
I think very few Durban comedians actually can or
Yeah.
do. It's very different here compared to everywhere else.
Yeah.
Like, and we're building that and stuff like that. But you know, my job is I'm a writer.
Yeah.
Like, and I want stand-up comedy to eventually be my job, but at the same time, I do so many other things. And like, I'm selling myself short in the way I'm saying this, but it is just to say, like, you're a working comedian. That's
Yeah.
what you pay your rent with. I don't pay my
Yeah.
rent with comedy.
Yeah.
And so how, like, what is that like, man? Like, it must be stressful.
Oh, yeah, it is, man.
Because
It
like
is
we're
very
saying, like,
stressful.
you know, it's like, you know, you got to negotiate from like 300 rand, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
a gig. Because that's it. You start out for free. That's how comedy starts. Everyone starts out for free. And then you kind of get bumped up to about 300 rand. Then it's about 500. Then it's about $1,000. And then everyone starts
Yeah.
discussing their own fees from there.
Yeah, no, it's a yeah, it's a very tricky thing to navigate, man. Like, I've been lucky in the sense that I have, you know, I have friends and people who support me and who will drive me to a gig, or who, you know help me with like transport money when I couldn't.
Yeah, that's
Now I'm-
big.
Yeah, now I'm getting to a space now where I'm slowly but surely starting to be able to take care of myself. I'm buying my own plane tickets, doing all of this, and you know, I'm able to like just to do things with comedy, man, and to travel and stuff. But it is hard, essentially. It is hard to do comedy yourself, like, and not have a day job,
Yeah.
because like you need to get different streams of income. Essentially, it's much harder to only rely on stand up.
Yeah, that's why I'm like saying, like, how, like, what made you take the risk in the first place?
Yeah, because I came from like like when as soon as I started working, I did like one job where we worked in a factory, where we had to like pack, we had to like, you know, check for errors on bags and stuff it and then pack it and put it on the crates and stuff. That's what my
That
first.
sounds very entertaining.
Yeah, yeah, totally boring. And then after that, I went to the call center, and then that's when I see how people hate their jobs. Like, in my mind, when my parents came home, sometimes you see like, oh no, they enjoy their jobs.
You
But
have no
then-
clue, like
yeah, I
that.
have no clue like how much people stress, and then to see that in the call center, just see like, you know, all this hurt and sadness, and people are crying, people are getting fired, people are struggling for jobs, and I'm like, this comes with too much. And now over the years, I've been like, I've
Because that's
seen-
still a struggle,
yeah,
and you're unhappy.
yeah, but now I'm in a space where like I have so much love for this thing and I know that a lot of good and a lot of happiness can come from this thing. Why do I not want to be like, that's a lot of the thinking was driven by those thoughts. Like, I want to be happy, man. And I love doing this thing. People laugh. I'm lucky enough where I have someone now that does the negotiations for me and stuff. So I'm you know, it's a good place to be in. So now I just want to become even better and take care of myself and be able to take care of others. And essentially, like, that's what we all strive to do, man. And I'm just so lucky for this. And that's why I was just like, nah, I can't go back there. That was my biggest motivator. Like, cause that's all I had. Call center was all I
Yeah,
had.
dude, that's like me with bartending. So I started Durban as yours when I was 23 or
Yeah.
24, 7. Yeah, like, and that was it, dude. It was just this thing of I can't fucking be a bartender for the rest of my life. You know,
Yeah.
like what? Like, I'm a writer. Like, that's what I told myself always. And so, but I never wrote. Like, you know, I'd write blog posts and stuff like that, but I never, like, you know, I never did the thing. And then yeah, eventually I was just like, I can't, like, you know, while bartending's not a terrible job or anything, it's also can be like a monotonous, draining, horrible experience where people are just shitty to you all the time. And it's just like, fuck, dude, like, eventually I was just like, I can never do this again.
Yeah.
And so that's why like I threw myself into all the creative pursuits I have ever since. And, you know, these days, thankfully, a lot of it's worked out. I,
Yeah.
you know, get to work for really cool companies and
Yeah.
like, you know, I'm
And-
stoked.
And the thing is, not many people have the opportunity to do that, because there's people that have kids, there's people that
Yep.
are breadwinners, and that's why that's what makes me appreciate this thing, man. This thing that we do, because yes, there comes a lot of good from it, and you know, TV and whatever. But at the same time, like, yo, there's people that's out there that's struggling, that don't have this opportunity, that are hella talented, that are smart, that are everything, and like they have no other choice but to put their pursuits and their dreams aside to take care of their reality. And
Well-
so that's why every day it's just like, yo, I must be thankful for this.
Well, yeah, to bring it back to that abortion topic you brought up, the conversation that people often have, they say is like, you know, like, what if you're aborting the next Einstein? Where,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
the argument that I love back about that is, well, the next Einstein could already be here, but they don't have the resources.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's, and I get you there, man. Like we are lucky in that through our own, you know, actions, but also through luck, through the circumstances, we have been given an awesome opportunity to, you know, take it forward. You especially, I mean, you been on Trevor Noah's Nationwild.
Yeah, man.
Was that like a big moment for you? Because like I can imagine, I mean, that's a silly question to ask. I guess the thing is, what was going through your mind when that happened? And then we'll talk about what happened since.
Yeah. There was a build up of things. The first thing was like, oh my god, I got this opportunity. Like, what the heck? I got this. And I'm like so proud, and I want to tell everybody. And, you know, that's like the first phase of everything.
Yeah, and then when you tell everyone, like,
The
everyone must have been just stoked.
Yeah. Everybody got excited, and I'm building so much confidence. Then I'm in the airplane that they booked for me. I'm in the airplane on the way
Is
to
that the
Joburg.
first time you had flights booked for you?
Yeah,
It's such a nice feeling.
Flights booked for me, hotel booked for me. Like everything.
Wow,
is set
that's a
up.
big experience.
Everything is set up. So then I was like, damn, this is actually happening. And
I'm gonna be famous.
Yeah, like and then there, I get there, and then Mnet is there interviewing us, and you know, there's TV camera people running around the whole place, and Trevor's there, and there's like, oh,
And
shit.
so this was like after what? What was your biggest gig before that?
My biggest gig before that, I think it may have been opening for, I think I opened before that, before Nation. Yeah, I think it was opening for Carvin at the Baxter Theatre.
Oh, nice.
It's
But
like
so that's much
600
smaller. Like,
yeah, it's a 600 seater thing.
which
but-
is big, but
yeah.
that's not
But
quite
for
the
me,
level.
that was like, you know, that was probably the biggest thing at the moment. Sorry if I'm forgetting anything else.
No,
I
for
think-
other people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was like, for me, that was the biggest thing. And then obviously now I'm there, and all of that stuff. And then I start, before I go on stage, I'm, you know, going over my set, but then I'm starting to overthink now. And then I'm starting to like, yo, people are going to see this. And it's not even about Trevor, it's not about any of that. So like, hey, people are going to see this. Kids in Lavender are going to see this. Moms are going to tell their kids, you know, you can be like him. man.
People like, I was in an Uber on Thursday going back from a gig, and the guy was chatting to me about Dusty Rich and Dylan Oliphant, because I mentioned I was bringing Dylan down,
Yeah.
and he was like, yeah, and he like, this is from years ago, so yeah, these things have impact.
Yeah, so like there's so much impact and positivity, man. So I'm like, yo, this thing is bigger than me, man.
Fuck, that's a lot of pressure though.
Yeah, that's
Especially
that's what I was
new
thinking.
new in your
Especially
career.
because of me and the way I think. Other people is there. A lot of the people, it felt like in a way, a lot of the people is there, is performing as if Trevor's gonna go,
I'm taking you next.
I'm taking you next, you know. But that's essentially what it kind of was. But for me, I didn't think of it like that. I thought of it like, yo, this is something that's gonna people are gonna either remember it forever or forget it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So now I have this opportunity to do something positive.
Your one shot.
Yeah, and that's the next thinking that I had. I was like, this is it. This is
It's my 8 Mile
everything
moment.
it's my 8 Mile moment. It's like everything leads to this. In every movie it has this situation. And I just overthought it so much, and luckily people laughed. Like,
Luckily, people laughed. It's not
Yeah.
like it's the thing you've been making people do for ages.
nah,
It
luckily,
was just pure luck, eh?
no, no, but like I mean, like just thank goodness, like people enjoyed themselves and stuff. And then now now like it's been brought up a lot, and it's opening doors for me and stuff. So like I'm very grateful for that, man.
But at the time, like, so the show went well. People
Yeah.
laughed,
Yeah.
but like, did you think afterwards, like, I've made it? Like, were you
No.
like?
That's one of the things that to this day it stresses me out about that.
Is other people think you've made it now?
No, it's not even that. Now it's like, yo, what happens next? Like this
Because
is
you've already achieved such a big thing so
Yeah.
early in your career, like.
But essentially, like the big thing doesn't matter if something, it's a continuous. You need to build up to that.
Well, yeah,
Bam.
just being on TV is not enough.
Yeah.
Just having that set out there, like, just having people know who you are is not enough. You've got to
Yeah.
follow that up.
So now it's like now it goes from low again to building up to that next moment like that.
Although, who's great is just constant build is Skulk, Poseidon Notes.
Yeah.
That dude is just forever doing, like, show after show after show.
Yeah.
He never lets his audience forget him. He never lets anyone forget him. Like,
yeah, like so much people know Skulk, and the same goes for like a lot of other guys, man. Like Carvin is
but
everywhere.
those guys put in so much work. That's like the thing. I can never even be jealous of them because it's just like,
Yeah.
you guys are doing so much more than I could.
Yeah.
Like, not that I could ever do, than I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like,
So like in my mind, whenever someone tells me like, "Oh, Keenan, you're working so hard, you're killing it now,"
you
then
feel
I'm like,
small.
"Yo," and I'm like, "No, but you look. As long as someone else is pushing the limits, I need to get as close to I can to that. I need to work even harder,
Do you ever feel a little lazy when you look at like other guys?
I feel like it's not. I feel like not lazy, or maybe it is laziness. But whenever I don't have gigs, if I see I have a week with no gig, like then that bothers me.
Yeah, because it's your rent money, dog. Like,
Yeah.
that would bug me more than like the the other side of it.
It's not even so much the rent money as it is like. Then I think about, because all of my thoughts are comedy driven. Then I think about like, yo, the next time I get on stage, am I gonna be ready to get on stage? Because you don't know who else is there.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, yo, I need to go to a gig this week. Okay, I'm gonna go to a gig this night. Even if I just go watch, or I just do like a young five, at least I'm gonna go this week and go do that. I'm watching podcasts. I'm watching all of this thing to try to keep my brain sharp. But when I'm not doing comedy, I make sure, like I'm learning. My brain is still working. I'm planning. I'm booking ahead. I'm checking is there any bookings for me. I'm checking what podcasts I can do, what this, what that. I'm just trying to make sure that I have plans. This year I've done more than I've done any other year. But I'm still feeling like I didn't do enough this year. Even though I've done some things this year. I never feel like I did enough. It always feels like more can be done.
I feel like you're always gonna feel that way though.
Yeah, but it's at the back of our minds. I know enough is being done, but at the front part of my brain is always like, no. Like if my brain's having an argument with itself, the left half and the right half, it's like, he's working hard enough. No, he's not working hard enough. He needs to work harder. So then I'm just pushing myself even more. Like I'm going to Mozambique at the end of the year.
Oh, sick.
And
Nice.
That added. Oh, the package as well. That added was being a writer for the roast of AKA this year. Amongst all the other, there's still more things that I did, but I still feel like, oh, Keenan, you need to push your bank account. Needs to reflect the hard work. It needs to.
Bro, like
Both needs to match. Like hard work, money, more gigs. I want my calendar to be full. I don't so much care about the money as I just want to know that there is money coming in.
Yeah, you see, like, it's weird, like, because, I look back and I've done a lot, and I'm really stoked about that, but in the moments and as the years go by, they never feel like you've done anything. Like,
yeah, because as soon as the 1 year is done,
you're looking forward to the next. Like,
yeah, so now I'm like, yo, so I need to have something, I need to top.
and it's also,
Nationwild.
exactly, and that's the thing,
Yeah.
once you've done something, like, even once you've done your first one, man, you're like,
Yeah.
cool, like, now I need to do another one. I need to be better.
Yeah.
You forget the achievements of doing the one man. You forget the
Yeah.
achievements of like necessarily being on Nationwild. Not that you could ever forget that, but you do go like, okay, now that I've done that for Trevor, how do I be Trevor? Like
Yeah.
essentially, like how do I be the person that people come and watch? You know, thousands of people come out and watch. Essentially,
Yeah, in different cities and stuff. So that's what I want to do. I don't want to be a comic that just gets like corporates and just does big theaters here in SA, and then that's it. I want to be someone that can go to any. I don't want to thousands of people, thousands and 50,000 of people in stadiums around the world. But my thing is, I want to be able to go and be able to do a show that has people there, that has just people there that came to watch Keenan Cerff. Like that's my big dream and goal, and just to be able to like all the people that helped me along the way. I want to be able to give back, take care of them the way they took care of me. I want to be able to put my mom on like a plane somewhere nice. My mom's never been on a plane, so I want to put her on a plane somewhere nice, and just like take care of all my other family who are struggling. Like in my family, there's like 10 drug addicts, and a lot of the mothers of them are all staying in like less like they're not staying in like the conditions that I'm staying in.
yeah.
So I want to try to make sure that whatever kids are born from this point onwards, whatever kids are there, they're gonna get dope education. Like that's what I want to. That's everything that runs through my brain, and I'm just like, I want to make sure that this struggling line stops. Because if I can just put like this, all these kids have education, proper education moving forward. So then years where the not having toilet paper in your cupboards, years where it stops, years where we actually think better now, years where all of that starts, you know, years where we're able to have a proper rolled up garage door,
Yeah.
years where we're able to stop the drugs now, stop the struggling, and just move forward.
So for you, it's not just joking your way out; it's joking the way out for yourself and your family.
Exactly. So you see, there's a story, there's a thing behind it, and that's essentially what I wanna do.
Have you seen that? That's, I mean, comedy obviously has a crossover with like a lot of different people, but one of the things I've noticed is there seems to be a common story for comedians.
Yeah.
Like, how do you think this is because it doesn't seem like a way to make money when you look at it from the outside, really.
Yeah.
You know? So how come comedy is a way out for so many people?
Because it's a platform where people are listening, man. It's a platform where people are watching. You know, TV comedy can be now online. It can be on TV. It can be podcasts. It can be radio. There can be all of these things, and people are listening. People are taking the time to listen. So now you're in a space where whatever issues you have, whatever issues you believe about, whatever anything like that, you're in a space now where someone's going to take the time to listen. And if the right person listens, then you may be able to make some really positive changes or contributions, you know? If I go climb into that cupboard now, and I don't get out of that cupboard, someone's not going to come to this cupboard and go, Keenan, do you want to perform at the Lyric Theatre?
Yeah.
You know, I need to get out there in order to get the Lyric Theatre opportunity. So that's why comedians can, that's why you obviously see comedians branch out afterwards. So for me, I want to be able to do motivational talks.
Okay.
That's where I want to do fundraisers and motivational talks, because the motivational talk is never going to be one where people are going to go sleep. No, the motivational talk is going to be, it's going to be like 60% talk, 40% jokes, whereas the stand-up special will be like 80%, okay. Yeah, or just the other way around, you know? But I want both to at least have a motivational element to it, you know, inspiring theme to it. So that's what I think about whenever.
Yeah, man, because like it is inspiring though. Like it even inspires me to hear the stories of other cats like in the comedy a lot of the time, like and to hear the motivations, because It is different, man.
Yeah,
Like, it is
yeah.
so fucking different.
Yeah, I've listened to a podcast before, and there's themes in different podcasts, like the way comics think. Sometimes you'll speak about plagiarism and racism and
Yeah.
whatever racism there is with those comics, but then with me, it's more of a, you can hear now by the tone of the conversation, we spoke about like the whole abortion thing and my angle on the abortion thing.
Yeah.
And then it turns into like a motivational podcast now. But essentially that's what that's where my thinking is driven. I just want to lift people up, man. I just want to like get people like out of the hole, and once they're out of the hole, there we go, let's move together.
So whether that's, just with a joke or literally, bringing
Yeah.
someone out of a hole.
Yeah, literally, yeah. So whether it's through a joke that inspires you and helps you push on, or whether it's me actually being part of a fundraiser for you or for your child or whatever, that's what I want to do. That's where I want to go, and I want to just be able. I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be famous, but that's just what I want to do. I want to be about anything. If someone needs help, I can do it. I have resources. I know people. That's the space I want to be in. Until I get to that space, I'm not working hard enough.
That's fucking fair, dude. Like, I love that you just said that. Like, until you get to that space, you're not working hard enough. So I guess you're going to see a lot more hard work from you.
Yeah, bro. Definitely. For sure.
What are the plans for this year? Like, I guess you can say it on the podcast because I'm going to announce you on the same day for the festival.
Oh, is that when this is going to come out?
Yeah, on Wednesday.
Ah, dope.
So I'm going to announce you for the festival, then I'm going to drop this.
Ah, sweet, man.
So people are going to hear this and probably have seen that
Or drop me after. What do I have? I have obviously the Heat City Comedy Festival, which I'm looking forward to. Always like being on like tour and stuff, and being part of festivals is something that I absolutely love.
And this is our first time we're bringing in like cats from out of town. Like, it's going to be an interesting.
So it's that. The date is the 30th of July
to the 4th of August.
To the 4th of August, I have that. I'm opening for Carvin again. Carvin's doing
It's sick.
Yeah, he's doing a thing from Durban through to Cape Town, like different areas and whatever.
Oh, wow.
So I'm doing that. You must check out like my pages and stuff for that. What else do I have? I'm going back to Joburg, potentially doing like performing on a TV show thing. I was supposed to do it this week, but then my acting agency called me up and said like, yo, you actually got this job. The client wants you. And I was like, oh man, I didn't know I have this. Now I planned all the stuff and I have to cancel some. So I have that. There's a Mozambique thing at the end of the year. And there's a lot more gigs that's going to pop up through before the end of the year. I'm just making every month.
And your one man?
I am doing my first foray into one man. That's why I've been asking for names. I'm going into my first foray into the one man space. It's in the 2nd of August, I think, or sometime around August.
So is the festival going to be the first time?
The festival could possibly be the first time, but the first time in Cape Town is going to be around in August as well. So then that's when it's going to start. That's when I'm going to take it around to small places, even if there's like 10 people. Okay, I'm going to have the money behind me.
Hey, dude, that's the skulk method, dude. Just go everywhere. Like,
yeah, just the thing. I didn't even think of it in the skulk way. I was just like, that's the way,
Yeah.
Go to different areas. Just be able to tweak the joke on my own. I don't want to need a club gig to go and try this and there and everywhere. I want to go where I can see, where I have these people to myself. And go do this. They're going to hear it. They're going to give honest feedback. So move on to a different place until it's like at the Fire and Ice Hotel, or it's at the Baxter Theatre, Lyric Theatre. So that's where I'm headed at, man. That's what I want to do. That's me.
Cool. I look forward to seeing your name like for a week-long run at the Baxter sometime.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Or even in Durban.
There's nowhere for a week-long run unless you want to do the Playhouse.
Yeah, the Playhouse, yo, Sibaya, even who knows.
Yeah, cool. I look forward to seeing you at the Playhouse in a couple months.
Yeah, okay. Like 2 years tops. I would definitely be doing that 2 year stops.
Sick, bro. Cool. Well, then we're gonna get you on the podcast in 2 years' time. And we'll see how it all turns out.
It'll be very awkward if I have this and then that and then oh no, I'm a plumber now.
Thank you so much for your time, Keenan.
Oh, yeah, Bob. It's been perfect, man. Thank you so much.